Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. And my name is Killjoy, and today we are back listening to the DLC music, or the Booster Pass music, from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We've done the base game, we've rated the music on that, and now we're going to rate the music from the Booster Pass course. So, yeah, let's just get to it. Let me bring up my track list here. And we're going to be starting off, ignore a lot of these levels, we're going to be starting with Paris Promenade. So, like last time, they're going to get about a minute, and we'll judge them on that. Very French with the accordion. It's very jolly track. Quite a pleasant drive around Paris. I think that's what they're going for, which is kind of fun. Yeah, it's not a bad track. I do apologise if you can hear a cat screaming in the background. It's not a bad track. It's got that very Mario Kart vibe, that very kind of jolly vibe. You'll see that with a lot of the Booster Pass tracks. They have this kind of like, it's hard to describe. There's a very particular sound that they have. I think this one, it's not my personal favourite. I don't think it's awful. I think it's B tier. Bear in mind, we're only going from S to C. C is like just ones that are like okay. B is good, A is great, S is excellent, essentially. I think it's decent enough. It does the job for what it is, and yeah, all in all, not a bad track. Right, 3DS Toad Circuit. Let's have a listen to that. Starts strong as well. It's actually not a bad tune. Not for what it is. It's a first level track. Ah. Brass. That bass is going crazy. It's funky. This has got that Mario Kart 8 style, Mario Kart Stadium style to it. Despite my feelings on the actual track itself, I've got to say that music is actually pretty pumping. Like, that sound of that track is very much the sound of Mario Kart Stadium and some of the other levels. It's got that, like, those brass sections. It's got that very, like, it's, like, very much in your face. Like, it's a celebration of Mario Kart, essentially. That's what it kind of gives me, that vibe. For that, I'm going to have to put that in A tier. I think that's actually really good. I think that's a really, really good track. Alright, N64 Choco Mountain. Very, very classic N64. I can't remember if this shares the same music as the Yoshi level. Oh, the theming is fantastic. Do that banjo, do diddle diddle do diddle diddle do diddle diddle do. You know, I do like it. I don't know if I'd quite put it in A, but I think the theming is very strong. That's a tough one, actually. I think, for me, I think it's a B tier track. I do think the theming is very strong, but I don't think it quite elevates to that, like, ooh, yeah. But it is good. Like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. That is a good one. All right. Wee Coconut Mall. Very, like, It's got that vibe to like I'm all very like, come shopping. It's almost like a TV network advert. Very catchy, that main melody. It's kind of a bop. It's got the saxophone as well, you know. It's got like the French accordion going on. It's so unapologetically like Nintendo and like the Wii era of things with the sound. I think I do quite like that one. I think just the vibe and the theming of it is pretty strong. I think I give that one an A. I think the saxophone section, the fact there's lots of changes to it, and the track's just got a lot going for it. I don't think it's up there like S tier, but I think it is a very, very good track that's just works so well with the level. All right, first of the tour, or sorry, second of the tour tracks, Tokyo Blur. Bass. Saxophone's back. It's again that very unapologetically Mario Kart sounding Mario Kart Stadium, Toad Circuit. My issue with this one is it sort of just blends and fades in. Unfortunately, I've never been the biggest fan of Tokyo Blur anyway. I think the music's the best part about it, but I think this one is quite like it's got all the right instrumentation, it's got all the right things you'd want for one of these tracks. But it doesn't stand out in any way. The bass line's great, but I think other than that, I think this might be the first one in C. Like, it's good, but it's not something I'm going to be like, oh, I really fancy listening to Tokyo Blur. Like, it's a good track, but it's not as interesting, perhaps, or doesn't quite pull me in like some of the other tracks do. All right, DS Stream Ridge. Oh, we've got the proper, like, whap, whap, whap noise, don't we? Ah, so DS/3DS. Oh, the melody's catchy as hell. Oh, I've got the whistle. Oh, yeah, I love this. That whistle just sells it. I think some bias is coming through from some of the instrumentation there. The whistle is very Double Dash. The main melody sound is very much DS/3DS. Obviously, it is a DS game. I think I might have to be. That might be my first S tier. I really like that track. There's going to be other S tier tracks in this that are better, but there's something about that like sound that you got from the DS. It's kind of crazy, and I really appreciate that. So, yeah, very, very fun track. Right, up next is Game Boy Advance Sky Garden. Bassline's good. Oh wow. I think it's a good tune. Like I think it starts off very strong. I think the sort of second half of the track kind of falls flat a little bit for me personally. I actually do like this level and this music, but I think it's not quite where I think if it's a little bit stronger at the end. I think this is A. I think currently this is like a B tier one. I do like the instrumentation. I like how much pep is in the track, but it doesn't quite hit the levels of like what I quite want from it. Alright, up next is Ninja Hideaway. It's an interesting choice of instrument. It's very original, this track, in the terms of the music. Not really much else that sounds like it. Ooh, that bass! Wow, I've never heard that before. Wow, alright, okay, so I was like thinking this is good, this is definitely A. That bass part, oh my Jesus Christ, that just elevated that to S tier. Holy shit, like, I've played on the level enough times, I think the level's fantastic, but I didn't realise the bass part was that good. Whoever the bass player is doing these tracks loves their slap bass, it's a phenomenal job. Easy S tier just for that. Alright, now for something very, very different. New York Minute. This track is so different to everything else. So here's my honest thoughts. I think this bit of music is actually really, really good. My issue is that it's very different to a lot of the other Mario Kart music. There's a lot of really good Mario Kart music, and I think because of that, it's almost like it's in the wrong game. I think the theming of this track with the level when you're playing on it is awesome. On its own, the music, I think it goes here. And that's not, again, it's definitely better than Tokyo Blur. Tokyo Blur doesn't really have much of an identity. This has more of an identity, but it's just so different. It's that 1940s style of jazz, and it's just sort of like so different to everything else. And yeah, I just think outside the game, not sure it really, really works, if I'm honest. So, alright, SNES Mario Circuit 3. I mean, I think you guys probably know where this is all going. It's the OG Mario Kart track. Look at that bow 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 noise. It's OG Mario Kart. Like, it's literally one of the best themes. I know it's probably not the most famous theme from Mario Kart anymore. I think some of the other ones like Mario Kart Stadium and stuff like that probably take it now. But when you were back in the day and you heard this, like, it's just awesome. This version's really interesting. I think I prefer the original, but I like the fact that they've kept the kind of like the bow 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 noise very similar to the original, and it's a bit chaotic, but it's quintessential Mario Kart. Like, this is what I think of when I think Mario Kart. This track and a lot of stuff from the SNES games. As I think everyone has their own Mario Kart Double Dash for some, N64 for the other, and things like that. So, but I can't put that anywhere else. Like, that for me is like S tier. That is Mario Kart in an essence right there. And a lot of the older tracks are. All right, N64 Kalimari Desert. I didn't realize how like chill this track was. It's not that in your face, is it? I think I'm going to annoy a few people with this one. It's not really doing anything for me. The level I don't mind, but the music is just a bit too lackadaisical. I think it's going in there. Unfortunately, I think it's C tier. I just think like if it was a bit quicker, so ba 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 ba, like the last lap kind of speed for most of it. I think I prefer it. That like, but it just lost me. Didn't do anything for me, unfortunately, and I think that's going to upset some people because I know people really like Calamari Desert. But there we go. Okay, on from this to Sydney Sprint. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, that saxophone just absolutely rocks in this track. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Fantastic, definitely an S tier. Awesome, awesome, awesome track. Really, really, really good. Love it. I've just realised DS Waluigi Pimble's there, which I think shares its music with Wario Stadium. So, okay, so I've got the DS Wario Stadium. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as Waluigi Pinball, so we're just gonna listen to this one. Yeah, it's the same track. You already know where this goes. I love this track. It's fantastic. It was fantastic on the DS. It's fantastic here. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. You've heard it for the other levels, so let's get back to our regular viewing. So we just did. We've got Sydney Sprint. We've got Waluigi Pinball. Next up is Snowland, which is from the Game Boy Advance. I think there's something about the winter levels I really like. Ooh. Oh, it's so jolly and so catchy. Oh! I mean, look, when a track brings a smile to my face, it's pretty good. I don't think it's S tier, but I do think it's an A tier, and I really like it, so there it's going there. Alright, next up, Wee Mushroom Gorge. A lot of people like this. Definitely a different style of track, isn't it? Very interesting. It's a weird one. I think for me, it's probably B tier. I don't think I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I think it's just a bit odd, and I think that also helps it and hinders it. It's very memorable in that sense, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not sticking out, like, it's not right up there and sticking out in front of me going, oh yes. Or Sky High Sunday, you guys know how I feel about this track. I think this track's awful, but is the music redeeming this level? That bass is insane. It sounds like a very, like, again, like an advert or a commercial for something. Here's the truth. The bass line in this is incredible, and that alone deserves to be an S tier. The rest of the track just sounds like some advert on TV. I don't... It's not very strong. It doesn't give me ice cream vibes either, you know what I mean? It's not like food vibes or anything. It's just like, hey, come check out the local store where we are selling whatever, and it's like that. And the bass line's going... Whoever the bass player was, it's just like going nuts. But the rest of the track kind of is like... It doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Alright, Tour London Loop. I've just realised some of these tracks are in the wrong level. Well, we're doing Tour London Loop now. I've got to come back for these two. This is actually a pretty great track. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? About to hit the best part of the entire track. I like a good riff, and I am biased, so it's going in there. I think the music actually redeems this level. I think the level's very average other than that, but the music is very good. It goes way too hard for what's going on the track. Right. Seems my track list has gone slightly out of order. We will continue. I will come back to any of the tracks I've missed, so Rock Rock and Merry Mountain. We'll come back to that. Next up is Boo Lake. I think this is very much similar to the original Ghost Valley vibes, this one. Da, da, da. Ooh, interesting drum beat. Bum, 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 bum. You know what? I don't normally like these, but this track is so interesting to me. The drum beat's pretty crazy. We've got some weird synths coming in. I wouldn't put it higher than B. I think C is a bit too low for it because it is at least very interesting. But I wouldn't go higher than that. I think it's just very interesting to listen to, and that puts it solidly in B as like a good track. So, all right, back to Rock Rat or Alpine Pass as we know it over here in the UK and Europe. So let's see how this one is. Good start. Oh yeah. Considering what this level is, again, the music seems slightly over-exaggerated for how calm the level is. I'm going to be honest, it's not doing a lot for me. I think London Loop takes the rhythm guitar and does a lot better job with that. The electric guitar. I think Rock Rock's probably B as well. I think it's good, but it doesn't really... It's not going... It starts off strong and it just sort of middle of the road. It doesn't really go anywhere with it, which is unfortunate. Alright, Maple... Where's Old Merry Mountain? I'll come back to that one in a minute then. Maple Treeway. It's a personal favourite for some people. do like the harmonics. Oh, we've got a clarinet. Or an oboe. Oh, nice bit of acoustic guitar. This track definitely got better. This is an interesting track, and this is actually really hard for me to place because that beginning part is really boring and it grows into a very good track. But I think taking it as a whole, I think it goes in B here because this isn't one of these bits of music that I absolutely love. I definitely don't hate it. It's not in C tier, it's definitely above that, but I don't know if it doesn't hit it. Like, some tracks just come out and they hit straight away and they give you an instant good first impression, and this one's more like, give it some time, you get some nice choice of instruments. You've got the harmonicas and the oboe or / clarinet, the guitar, and I think that is good, but it doesn't come together quick enough for me, and I think it sort of sits there as like, this is a good solid track, and it ends up being a really, really good track. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting that in A. It just doesn't sit quite right with me. Alright, next up, Tour Berlin Byways. Oh, this weird thing. So strange, this track. It's so electro. Okay, honestly, I think this is an A. I think it starts really strong and goes off in the most weird, like almost national anthem style track. I don't think it's as strong as some of these others, and I think it is just that weird, but it is kind of catchy, and I think it deserves to be higher up there. Like, the music on a lot of the tour tracks, not all the tour tracks, but on a lot of them, is far superior to the tracks themselves, and it's another one where Berlin and London blend into one for me. Okay, Peach Gardens. Oh. It's a very nice sounding track. Yeah, very French. With the harmonica, the accordion. I'll be honest, it does nothing for me. I know some people really like the level and the thing, but it's just one of those tracks. I'm just not going to listen to it. Like, it's good on most of these work for the levels they're on, but yeah, it just does nothing for me. I'm not gonna go out my way to listen to it. It's okay. All right, now we finally get Merry Mountain coming up, so we'll not as Christmassy as I thought it was. The accordion's back. The piano in the background's good. Do you know what? It's another one of those ones that just doesn't do anything for me. I'm not I'm not feeling anything from it. So it's just one of those tracks. It's kind of there again, works with the level, but yeah. All right, 3DS Rainbow Road. Technically, there's also the Moon variant of this, but I'm just grabbed one, and we'll judge it on that. Ooh, we got just hits hard. I'm pretty sure this goes into the N64 of GameCube. Well, I could be wrong. I'm sure it goes into that. Maybe it doesn't. It's pretty good though. Like that dance beat, I forgot about that. I'm just gonna let this one play a little bit longer. Yeah, so it goes into the N64 theme, which I think the GameCube one also does. It's actually pretty good. I don't think it's S tier for me, but I do think it is A tier. I think it's a really good Rainbow Road track. I think it does a good job. That danciness to it. I can't remember if the actual 3DS version of that is exactly the same or not, or whether that was just for this one. But it's good. It's really solid, and I think most of the Rainbow Road tracks are very solid. They have a lot of personality, and that really helps. Alright, Amsterdam Drift. Oh, so there's another one of the weird ones. Drums. Very bizarre, very unique track. If I'm honest, it's probably B. I don't think it's as strong as like Berlin or London and things like that. But I do appreciate the fact that you've got like some actual sort of singing going on, which isn't very common for a lot of Mario Kart tracks. I say singing, it's more like oh, but like it's got a unique flavour to it. I think C would be too low. I think A is just probably a bit too high for it. So B is a nice spot for it. All right, Game Boy Advance Riverside Park. Oh, it's so Crash Bandicoot. Or Donkey Kong from the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, it's got those vibes. I have no idea how I feel about this. It's unbelievably Mario Kart and very silly, and I think again it's one of the ones. C is definitely too low, A is too high, so it's gonna have to be in a B tier. I think it's just an odd track with some it's got those like Game Boy Advanced sound effects sort of left over in it as well, which is kind of cool. I can appreciate it for that, but yeah, just an odd choice. All right, DK Summit or whatever the other name for it is as well. Catchy as AF. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. drum and bass beat behind it. I love this track. Catch it, just hits straight away. Oh, easy S tier for me. Fantastic piece of music. Very, very catchy. That earworm. That is earworm material. No, love it. All right, Yoshi's Island. I think this is quite obviously where I think this musically where this is going to go. If you know what this track is from the original game, it's kind of hard not to put this in S. It's a fantastic version of it. I think it's the Alphalectic theme, I think. The instrumentation on this is really good as well, like a really good mix of instruments. The guitar. Got the bongos. Ba 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 ba. All comes together at the end. Easy S tier. That's one of that is an iconic video game piece of music from a fantastic game. Alright, I have my gripes about the actual level, but the music's undeniable. It's phenomenal. And I do wish they went with Flower Garden personally, but I think overall Alphalectic suits the level better. Alright. Moving on to Bangkok Rush. Bass player's back. This track feels really empty. I'll be honest, it's not doing anything for me. Again, the bass is always the thing that stands out with these tracks, but there's so like emptiness in the music, and it just doesn't work for this track. I feel like that would be something better on something that actually felt more like desolate, like a desert track or something. So yeah, not the biggest fan of that one, unfortunately. All right, DS Mario Circuit. Bear in mind, this would have been somebody's first Mario Kart, the DS1. But this track has everything going for it in terms of being a Mario Kart track, musically. It sounds like a first level track. If I'm honest, it's okay. I think, unfortunately, it's not fast enough. Needs a bit more pep to it. I think it's in the C tier for me. Obviously, I appreciate the starter tracks usually have some of the best music, but unfortunately, that particular one was not it. Alrighty, Waluigi Stadium from the GameCube. Another personal favourite, not gonna lie. All the ska music from Double Dash is incredible. It's the right sort of tempo. It's the kind of silly Mario Kart vibe you want. The brass really helps in this. Easy S tier. Anyone says otherwise is wrong. Okay, to Singapore Speedway. Where are we at there? Let's go. Ah, yes. This is a good one. Reminds me of the music level Electro. Yeah, I do like that. I think it's an A tier. I don't think it hits S for me like some of the other tracks, but I do think that is a really, really, really good track, and it's kind of good, kind of different, kind of bouncy. But yeah, very much like that. All right, Tour Athens Dash. Oh, this is a weird one. Sounds like something out of a Disney film. There's a right mix of instruments as well, like playing the melody. Kind of comes together. Ooh. Balalaika maybe? Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's like one of my favorites. I think it goes in B tier, but I do like the fact that you have that da, 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 and then you have like a second part to each of those played by a different instrument, which is very clever, and I really appreciate that. But it's so odd and unique, which again can be in its favor or can't be, but overall it's good. I just don't think it's quite great. So, all right, Daisy Cruiser, GameCube. Another classic. I think it's steel drums in this one. Very nice, very smooth. How did Vancouver get over here? I think the steel drums really sell this track. It is kind of on the chiller side. I'm gonna make myself look like a fool. I feel like it's I want to say bossa nova. I don't think it's a bossa nova beat, but there's that dun 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 kind of thing going on with it. I think that's just a really good track, and I think that's an A tier one. I don't necessarily say it stands out compared to some of the others, but I think the use of steel drums really works because it's the same piece of music that was used on another double dash level, which is Peach Beach, I think. It just works really well. Nice theme, all that sort of stuff. I do like that one. We'll come back to Vancouver Velocity when we get to it. Moonview Highway from the Wii. So this is the outside of the city. There's two versions of this. I think that inside the city you get the saxophone. It's meant to be a chaotic road, I think is what it's going for. This chaotic, like, drive around the city. I do quite like that. I don't know if I'd put it. I think it's B. I think it's quite up here, but I do really appreciate the fact that it's hard hitting. It's not the longest of the loops, but I know that this track, obviously, you don't normally hear all of one version, because when you get into the city, you get the saxophone or the whatever it is that plays. It's some kind of brass, I think, and it goes nuts. But that only plays when you're in the city. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I think it's good. All right, Squeaky Clean Sprint. Again, sounds like a shopping centre. Sounds like Coconut Mall. It's meant to be very energetic and it's meant to be very expressive, which I think it succeeds at. But here's the thing. What this level is and how cool the level is versus the music sounds like it's, again, out of a commercial. I don't think it works very well. I don't like it that much. Like, it's very okay. I wouldn't say it was like a great piece of music. And I think you could use that music on a different level and it would be like the Squeaky Clean Sprint's music on Sky High Sunday level would work better than the music that has. But compared to Coconut Mall, which is just a lot more boppy, I don't know why they're trying to have this like chill vibe. You're in a bathtub, make it sound fun, make it sound chaotic, you know. Alright, Los Angeles Laps Tour. Oh god, the music on this level is just odd. I think my bias for my disdain for this level is not helping. Here's what I'm saying about it. I think it would be a better track had they not used some really kind of like annoying instrumentation, and for that it's going in C. Like, I think you could make that a bit more like there's potential there, but the instruments used wasn't great. All right, Sunset Wilds. Oh yeah. That very much that American style sort of banjo out kind of thing. Digging for gold! Very similar to Choco Mountain. I think had that been more like the first sort of 15 seconds and say like that the rest of the track, it would be higher. It's very much like Choco Mountain, similar vibe. I think it goes in B. I think it's a good track, and I think it's a great track. But it's cool nonetheless. Alright, Wee Cooper Cape. This sounds like quintessential Mario, like out of one of the, like, I don't know, 3D Land or something. No, it's like the Scar vibe going on again. Again, it's not a bad thing, but the main melody is so annoying that I think for me it goes into C. I think there are, obviously that track again changes, the music does change, and there's like the pipe part of it. which is quite nice as well. But that's the main sort of bulk of the track, I believe. Just change up some of that instrumentation, and I think it bumps it up easily by a rank. Alright, go back to Vancouver Velocity. Oh, it's got the classic, same thing as SNES Mario Circuit. Yeah, I think that is a really, really solid track. I think that easily goes into A. I don't think it's S tier for me personally, but that is a really, like, really solid piece of music. Very, very catchy, very bouncy, fun to drive around to. Alright, Rome Avante. The accordion's back there. I like using that in a lot of the real world levels. That kind of like, this world is a beautiful place full of love. I think Rome Advante is kind of on the same level as Paris Promenade for me. I think it's B tier. I don't think it's. I think down here is a bit too harsh because it's got stuff going for it, but I don't think it's really pushing it up to like Vancouver and Berlin and places like that. So, yeah. No, it's a good track. Good track. So, alright, DK Mountain. This is an interesting one. It's like the start seems so different. It's catchy as hell, though. Sounds like David Wise playing that. And a double bass playing that bass thing, that's cool. I'm mad biased as going in A. I love that track. I think that's really cool, and I think they've done a really nice job of that in this version of it, which is awesome. Right, Wee Daisy Cruiser. It's a bit too, again, it's a bit too much of that like elevator style music, so unfortunately it goes in C. It's not like it's terrible, but it's just so like, oh, this is a nice drive. Like, I kind of prefer the Mario Kart tracks that do have some kind of pep to them, and it's a nice track, but I don't know, it just doesn't, I'm not getting any strong emotions from it. Alright, Piranha Plant Cove. A bit of a piratey theme to it. Oh, castanets, I think. I like that. I think that's actually kind of fun. I think that goes in A tier. I don't think it quite hits the levels some of these for me, but I think that's a really like that sort of piratey theme going on about that melody that is very catchy. You can see it getting stuck in my head. All right, Madrid Drive. I actually get more Arabian vibes than I do Spanish vibes on it. I think overall that's actually pretty decent. I think that is definitely another A tier one. I think it's a really, really good use of the style as well as the acoustic guitar and some of the clapping and things. I like the fact that on that level when you go through the stadium you get like the chants, which is really cool, but obviously that's not part of that. But yeah, overall A, very, very good. Right, Rosalina's Ice World. This is such a bizarre song. Very full though. I'm gonna be honest, I don't dislike it, but it doesn't do much for me. I think it's a good track, it goes in there. I think some people might prefer it to myself, but yeah, it just doesn't sounds very full, sounds like a really like well put together track, but it just isn't hitting all the right notes for me. Alright, Bowser Castle 3. This is a classic as well. That bass is so crunchy. Short loop, but easy S tier for me because I grew up playing that game, and that is still probably the most aggressively sounding Bowser's Castle level. So for that alone, that it has that theme to it and that vibe to it, I mean it's only like a 30-second loop, but yeah, I truly like it. Very happy with it. Alright, and then lastly, Wii Rainbow Road. This has got its own theme, if I remember rightly. Again, got that sort of dance beat behind it. If you know me, you know I like the Rainbow Road tracks. Like the music. When I use tracks, I mean music in this instance. They're loud, very proud. They have their own sort of flavour. Nice use of pianos and brass and what is essentially a break beat. I'll let this one play. fantastic, really, for what it is. I don't think either of these are in S tier for me personally, but I would have no problem with somebody putting those in S tier. I think they're both really, really good. Alright, so there we have it. We can see that from... I know that a lot of people are going to be like, hey, Mario Circuit 3, why have you put that up there? But you need to understand, like, that is a nostalgic pick for me, but it's also, like, it's quintessential Mario Kart. I couldn't put that anywhere else, like, musically, like, that's what's in my head. But Shroom Ridge, Ninja Hideaway, Mario Circuit 3, Sydney Sprint, Waluigi Pinball, London Loop, DK Summit, Yoshi's Island, Waluigi Stadium, Bowser's Castle 3 are my absolute top picks for the Booster Pass in terms of my favourite tracks, what I think are the best tracks as well. Everything that is in A, I think, is really solid. I think they're really good tracks, and they are very catchy. A lot of those, the S and A, I definitely listen to outside of the game. I think I enjoy them a lot. B are the good tracks that have either uniqueness to them or almost great, but they're just lacking something. And there's a lot in there, as you can see. And then lastly, the C stuff, which is stuff that is okay. It's not terrible. It works in the game, but I don't know if I would listen to them outside of the game, basically. So there you have it. Overall, I think Mario Kart has mostly good music over the stuff that I put in C for both the base game and the Booster Pass. We've done pretty well. We've got a lot of good tunes. I'm happy with that. There is some stuff I would have loved to have heard in this game. Koopa Troopa Beach from the SNES would have been awesome. But overall, that's my thoughts on the music of Mario Kart 8, both now having done the base game and now having done the Booster Pass. So awesome. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.